Welcome everyone to my latest video review. It's gonna be on the Power Rangers Lighting Collection Wave 10 Power Rangers Zeo Yellow Ranger. Before I continue, I do want to apologize if the video comes off slightly misaligned. I was having alignment issues today when I was setting everything up, and I tried my best to align it as straight as possible. So yeah, now that we have that out of the way, so this is the yellow Zeo Ranger, and what a time I had trying to get this figure. This is the worst figure of Wave 10. And when I mean worst, I mean in terms of trying to obtain the figure. Like, a lot of places kept having this figure sold out. Or they would say release date, so and so, and then they would push it back even further. But, anyways, this is the figure, and I lucked out. I got a perfect figure. But I can tell there are no paint flaws, like everything looks good. It looks like. So as usual, we have the depiction of the figure. Oh, the lighting changed. Oh, there we go. It's back to normal. Yeah, the depiction of the figure on the right. And Yellow Zeo, they actually made her accurate. They didn't do those silver lines around the visor. They actually gave her white lines. Let me actually do a brief close-up so you guys can see. It's kind of hard to tell because the lines are very like, oh, there you go, you can actually tell over here. They did an amazing job with Tanya's face too. And yes, we have her nunchucks on the left and her Zeo blaster. That's the effect piece, and we have is that sword that they have on the other side of their costume. And on the back here, we have well, it looks like a CGI version of the figure. And honestly, for the first time ever, the helmet actually looks pretty bad on the back. The visor visor shapes are actually a lot more thicker than it should be, so it doesn't look as natural as the one on the helmet. Which, sorry, took it out of frame. That's the first. So that's what it looks like. Honestly, I love this figure. Like, this is honestly the most perfect figure because I I would say even Red Zeo was pretty damn perfect. Like, I can't think of anything except for the Tommy head being a bit off being this perfect. So I think after the Red Zeo Ranger, this one is, I would say this one and then the Red Zeo Ranger for sure. So yes, so that's what the box art looks like, and we have this here. Honestly, Wave 10 is a horrible wave, and I feel like it's gonna get worse and worse with the waves that are coming. So here's the figure out of the packaging, and guess what? I jinxed myself, and I was like, oh, the figure looks perfect. I don't see any paint defects, blah, blah, blah. And look, right here, there's like a gold like splotch on her boot right there. I mean, all I have to do is just touch it up white, but yeah, I had to end up saying she looks perfect. That's on me. So, yeah, but and also one thing I noticed, I don't think I noticed this on Pink Zeo Range because I actually checked that figure too. Something I noticed is that the holsters, they're actually fixed onto the skirt, which is really weird. I guess if you have it displayed, it's not too noticeable, but yeah, it's like fixed onto the skirt, which is kind of weird. But yeah, so this is what her nunchucks look like. It's really cool. I actually thought the nunchucks were actually fixed into place like this, but it's actually movable. Like, you can actually like move it. It's pretty cool. She gets two sets, and that's her Zeo gun. The Zeo, the sword that they use. I don't know why they can't give us both versions, like the sword and also the retracted one that goes into their holster. Here's the Tanya head, and they did a great job with Tanya's face. That looks really nice. Sorry, let me actually zoom in. So there we go. I think it focused. So yeah, that's what it looks like. And yeah, I'm very pleased with the accessories. At least this time around, we're getting their full weapons. And let me show you the figure holding the weapon. This one I can gather you can get it on the figure really easily because the nunchucks are very thin, so it's not like it's a fat weapon that you have to struggle with. Usually that's the case. The actual handle of the weapon is so fat, you have a hard time getting it on the figure. So that's what it looks like. It looks pretty cool. And as for articulation, they have the standard articulation for a lightning figure. You can move the arms from side to side. It's actually a little bit stiff, so it's not really moving too much. So side to side, up and down. The head you can kind of move it too. The head is really stiff. It's chest as well. You can move it all the way back, or the chest is very stiff in this figure. Yeah, so yeah, I don't want to break it, especially as being a rare figure. And the elbow articulation, up down. You kind of can move the wrist. Legs, you can move it side to side, up down. The skirt does hinder it a little bit. You have double jointed knees. I'm actually very scared to move the joints in this because this figure like feels so damn stiff. It's not even funny. Is what the back looks like. I'm actually very pleased. Like, I actually like this figure a lot more than Cassie, because with the Cassie figure, let me pull it out. Like, she had this dark pink going on. It's actually something all the Pink Rangers have, as of the Pink Ranger 2-pack, and that it kind of takes away from the appeal of the figure, and also the helmet. Like, they don't have the helmet on properly. So yeah, definitely so much better than Cassie, the Cassie figure. I think she benefited from being the Yellow Ranger, because usually they get the Yellow Rangers accurately. So here's the Tanya figure without with her helmet off, and she looks really nice. And yeah, I had quite the time getting the head on. It was a little bit tricky. And yeah, this figure, to be honest, kind of scares me because it feels like I'm gonna break it. Um, yeah, but it's like so stiff. It's unpredictable. You don't know if you're gonna end up breaking the figure or not. So yeah, so this is what she looks like. I'll show you guys a close up. Let me remove the helmet so I don't drop it. And yeah, so that's what she looks like. She looks amazing. Honestly, except for Rocky, the entire Zeo team looks pretty decent. Like, they had done Rocky some justice, you would have had a perfect Zeo team. Just like in Space. In Space has Ashley and although Ashley does look a little bit like her, and TJ looks nothing like him, but the rest they look pretty decent. So that's what she looks like. So yes, that's the Yellow Zeo Ranger. Unfortunately, I don't have like the Bandai 90s figure, but I do have the Legacy figure, and I'll show you what she looks like with the rest of the Zeo teammates, because we're finally completed with Zeo. Here I have all the Lightning Zeo Power Rangers with their helmets off. They look really awesome. I really love it. I have them from Zeo Ranger 1 to Gold Ranger. It makes me a little bit sad that we never got Trey out of the helmet. Um, yeah, so I guess it would have been a bit weird to see him out of the helmet because I haven't really seen Zeo, but I remember there was something like there were actually three trays or something, because I know the actual three brothers were triplets, but they played like three gold rangers. I can't even remember, but I remember it's like three people who held the gold ranger powers, and that's what was way too powerful for Billy to take over. Again, I might be talking nonsense because I haven't really seen Power Rangers Zeo, and it's been a very long time from the little that I saw. But yeah, they look amazing. I love the Zeo Oranger suits, so they look really cool. So yeah, even honestly, but something I've noticed with Ranger figures is that one figure could have a flaw, but then when you have all of them together, that one flaw is not really noticeable. It's just that they look so beautiful all together. I tried to put the helmets on them as best as possible. So here's all six Zeo Rangers together with their helmets on. I wanted to do the pose from the TV show, but I noticed that would be difficult because, especially the yellow Zeo Ranger, where she has her leg kind of standing out, it would be difficult. The figure will easily fall over. But yeah, so there you have it. I really wish Hasbro had given us the white around blue, green, pink, and yeah, just blue, green, and pink's visor. They'd have looked really awesome together. And I want to put their main weapons on them to showcase them, but yeah, without Rocky's, is it the hatchets that he has or tonfas? It would not look it would have looked out of place. But yeah, they look amazing. I love, especially the gold accents on their suits really bring these figures out. So yeah, that's what they look like. They look amazing. See, so here I have the Lightning figure and the Legacy figure. I must say it's always really awkward handling a Legacy figure after fiddling around with the Lightning figures because the Legacy figures are so um, oversized and it just feels very awkward. Just the different articulations the figures have, it's just very weird to try and get it to stand up straight. As you can tell in this video, like, it just does not look right. So anyways, so when we compare, Lightning figure gets points for being a decent scale. Lightning figure again gets points for using the metallic gold because that's the real Zeo gold. They did not have the knockoff cheap cheese gold that the Legacy figure has. That really like killed the look of the figure. And again, Lightning gets points for having for accessories because not only do we have their weapons, but we also have like the option to have them in civilian mode or ranger mode, which is like a plus. The only thing that I would give points for Legacy is the helmets because the helmets look a little more natural on the Legacy because they made the helmets a little bit more rounded as opposed to Lightning. Lightning is a little bit more flatter versus rounded. So it always looked nicer on Legacy. Although the Legacy Zeo Pink helmet I'm not a huge fan of because they made it overly curved that the visor just looked way too big on that helmet. So yeah, so this is what the two figures look like side by side, and let me see if I can get like a close up. That's what they look like. And I also like how the skirt is more pointed versus this one. It is also like pointed, but it's very discreet that you can't really tell. This one, they did a good job there. So yeah, points for definitely Lightning because they have like so much over Legacy. And let's do a quick comparison. So this is the Legacy blaster. And it came with the Zeo sword in like in the sword that they came with, it's just tucked away so you can put it in their holster. And let's compare with the Lightning. So the guns pretty much look the same. I prefer the Legacy version because it's a little bit bigger and I can see the detail a little bit better. But yeah, but honestly, points for this one, yeah, because I just noticed Legacy doesn't have this colored. And if we're to compare the two weapons, the sword here and the one that's tucked away, honestly, if it came down to either or, I'd have rather gotten the sword versus the retracted version, because come on, what can you really do with it? It's a pointless weapon. So yeah, that's what they look like. So there you go. I really wish I had the 90s figure so I can show you guys a comparison. But yeah, so that's the comparison between those two figures there. Let me just zoom out there. Okay, there we go. And yeah, so that's basically it for the figure. And regarding where you can get this figure and availability, honestly, if you live in the US, it's very easy. It's actually easy for you guys to get the figure. I see like a lot of collectors actually hitting gold. If you guys just sorry, I see a lot of collectors hitting gold by going to different stores and finding these figures. So if you live in the US, I highly recommend you do that. In Canada, as far as I know, I haven't seen these in stores yet. Um, you can get it from Amazon.ca. You can get the other three figures, but this figure is still sold out. So your best bet is eBay, and I've been seeing some decent deals that are coming up. Like they're not everyone is like or charging for this figure. So right now eBay is your only bet, or you can buy it off a US website like Hasbro Pulse, and you just end up paying $20 more, because in Canada they're like $30 for their lightning figure, but converted when you convert the US and with the shipping and everything comes up to about $55. So yeah, if you can wait for it, you can save, but I don't know how long you're gonna wait. But if you can't wait like me, then you will end up having to pay a little bit more for being impatient. And yeah, I guess that's basically it for the review. And if you guys have any questions or concerns, as always, please comment. I would love to hear from you guys. And also, I would love to hear your feedback, comments, and likes. Not sorry, I already said comments. I'm going to say subscriptions and likes. They really do help. And yes, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and have a great day, everybody.